The Labour Party has become a real sad case. Emily Thornberry gave a really interesting response to the prospect of a Keir Starmer-led Labour government in The Guardian. She is thinking about the lack of oomph. Her tone has softened. We can't promise all the things we want to do, so we're not going to engage the same kind of enthusiasm. I understand that, but to get rid of this lot and have some decent people on board who know where they're going and why they're going there is alright. It's alright. They might not write songs about it, but it will be okay. If you can get past the word jargon, she's essentially telling us it won't be exciting, but better than the other lot. Sort of reminds me of the Democrats a couple of years ago, when they didn't, or rather still don't have any ideas. So their main message was to point out how bad the Republicans are. Democrats 2018. I mean, have you seen the other guys? Really depressing, woeful politics. Now, according to the Sensibles, this is successful politics. Just simply contrast the 2019 election results to the polling numbers today. Is that how it works? A Labour Party full of policies that meet the scale of the crises, but hopeless in seeking electoral success, and a landslide majority for bland beige politics. We've been reminded time and time again that Tony Blair is the election king. He moved right and Labour swept to victory after 18 years of Tory rule. A few holes here. Yes, it was a stunning victory. However, a duck would have won that election. John Major was incredibly unpopular. Any leader would have beat him. Notably, Labour's poll numbers were consistently higher than the Tories when John Smith led the Labour Party before he died. Plus, Labour lost 5 million votes between 1997 and 2010. Gordon Brown, albeit a far better leader and likeable person compared to Blair, didn't particularly change the direction of the party, yet they got 29% of the vote. Abysmal. Ed Miliband slightly, ever so slightly, moved Labour to the left, but still supported austerity. Most people felt the two parties were too similar and increased the vote share by a whopping 1%. So there isn't really all that much appetite for the status quo. Yet agro-centrists still laud Blair as a god and Corbyn as a political loser. Same goes with mainstream journos. Funny that all these lot completely memory hole the 2017 election. A man so unelectable, he added 3 million votes, which was a 10% increase, the biggest increase since 1945, and the first time Labour made gains since Blair. He also outpolled Blair in 2005. Now, in turn, Corbyn had the Tories running scared. This is an article from 2017 on right-leaning Cap X. Britain's political commentariat didn't see the Corbyn surge coming, didn't understand how it could happen, didn't believe it was real while it was happening, and insisted right up to the day of the election that even if Corbyn had lots of supporters, they wouldn't turn out to vote for him. We were completely wrong, and we were completely wrong in a way that means we have no real chance of understanding why we were completely wrong. To beat him, we will in due course need a different leader. Theresa May should not resign immediately. She became leader unopposed, and most of those folk now saying how terrible she was in the campaign was saying what a genius she was in the first week of it. She got 42.4% of the votes, the same percentage as Thatcher in 1983. Her vote share barely changed in the polls during the campaign. The last quote is significant because today people tend to say that Theresa May was so bad, that's why Corbyn did well. In fact, she was incredibly popular. The 2017 election was ran as a presidential campaign with her face plastered everywhere. So why the need to rewrite history? It's not because Starmerites and Blairites simply only care about electoral prospects, but rather they hate any moderately left-wing politics, that they'll use anything at their disposal to justify their behaviour. Now also note, Keir Starmer only started to poll well when Liz Truss decided to cut taxes on the rich in a literal cost of living crisis, leading to an absolute meltdown in the market. 2019 was a disaster. No one is claiming otherwise, but if you actually care about why Labour lost, then you know that 1, it was mostly Brexit. Labour completely fumbled it, and number 2, Corbyn became very unpopular. The issues surrounding anti-Semitism obviously had a huge impact. However, just like 2017, the policies are and were popular. The main domestic programme championed by Corbyn and Keir Starmer with his now 10 very broken pledges are supported by the majority of voters. Raising the minimum wage, nationalising water, rail, mail, a plurality of voters supported public ownership of energy, which we now know has increased. People supported a wealth tax, and increasing taxes on the rich. So the reason why they've been dropped is not because of electoralism. It's simply because Keir Starmer is right-wing. Yet, Starmer will win the next election, and after his Labour government refused to make any transformational change, they'll hemorrhage votes, the Tories will get back in, and politics will continue to be as bleak as ever.